Hello, my name is Angela Warburton, and I am a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner, and I am a lover of food and using food as medicine. So, in this series, I'm going to talk a little bit about specific foods, and so how we can use understanding food in a slightly different way, and then using food as medicine. So how we can use food to help balance us out, to help us heal when we're not feeling well, helping to people to understand what their body's saying a little bit more, and then also using food seasonally to help balance out the elements. So in Chinese medicine, we say that food has not only nutritional value but also properties. So some foods are warming, some foods are cooling, some foods are very drying, or other ones are moistening. So we really use food to balance. So if someone's really cold, they're going to be using foods that are warm to help balance them out. Someone who's really warm is going to be using cooling foods. And that's the way it works in nature as well during the seasons. So foods that are grown in the summer typically have very cooling and moistening properties to them. So they help to balance out some of that heat, the drying heat of the summer as well. So today we're going to talk a little bit about one of the spring foods that I love, and that's the green onion. So it's also called the scallion. Little different than the spring onion. Spring onion is just like a baby regular onion, although they have very similar properties. So lovely little fresh green friend here. These are some of the first sprouts of spring. They're going to come up. They because the ground, the land has been fallow over the fields have been over the winter. The first foods that come up tend to have a little bit of a sweeter taste to them. Get all those nutrients from the rich earth. So this little fella has the green part and then the white part. So the whole thing can be eaten. They have slightly different flavors. Like the green part tends to have that slightly more oniony, a little bit more of a bite to it flavor. The white is a little bit softer, a little bit more sweet. Because of the sweetness of the plant, they do withstand high heat pretty well, but they can burn, so you want to be careful when you're cooking them. In Chinese medicine, we say these are warm, and onions tend to be very moving in property. So that means that they are really good at sort of breaking through stuff. And when you think about the first plants of spring, it's like the ground's all hard and not much is going up. And then slowly, just like these little, they get through the earth. So they kind of push through. So they've got this sort of moving component. So from Chinese medicine perspective, these have been used for centuries. They're fantastic for anything that's kind of cold, since they are that little bit warming. So anyone who has stomach issues that feel worse with cold foods, or feel better when they have warm foods, or want heat on their stomach, these would be really great for that. Also amazing for the common cold. So the common cold of the variety, we'd call it a wind cold. So the type where you're like, ooh, I'm cold all the time. It might be the type 2, or it's the type where you have a really drippy nose, like the kind of like clear fluid just like coming out, and you just like want to shove a Kleenex up there and just leave it because it's just like dripping all the time. That would be a wind cold, not the type where you have a really bad sore throat and fever, but more that sort of chills. So these are great for that. And you can just, I usually cook them in a little bit of a bone broth or a broth. You don't have to cook them long, 5 minutes or something like that. You can add fresh ginger too, and that really helps as well. You can dry them so that you have them year round, and then you can just take maybe 5 grams in the winter if you get a cold like that, and cook them up. They're also great, actually. You can take the juice out of these and apply it topically. So they're great for mosquito bites, if you can believe it. For the really itchy, really annoying mosquito bites, the juice from the green onion is great for that. You can eat them dried, fresh, raw, cooked. All of that's great. They're really good. Typically you might see them chopped up finely and sprinkled over soups or salad or a little bit of cooked food. So they have that ability of, again, cutting through. So they're very good at breaking up things. So breaking up, if it's a fatty food, it will help break that up. If it's, because they have that warming taste, it can help with digestion as well. So a great little friend. lovely, tasty, great spring food. So I will put up some recipes soon, but in the meantime, enjoy and happy spring.